order money, like you order your morning coffee. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that you are meant to claim your good with the same calm certainty you use to order your coffee, not with desperate begging. So here is the premise. Mark chapter 11 verse 24 says, "What things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Believe that ye receive them, as though your order is already placed and on its way." That is the whole secret. You do not beg for your coffee. You order it and expect it. And tonight you learn to do the same with money. So say the affirmation with me now. I speak my good with calm authority. I know it is already mine. My word is my wand. Again, I speak my good with calm authority. I know it is already mine. My word is my wand. And if you are ready to stop begging and start ordering your good, type 2 words in the comments right now. Order placed. Just type order placed. Now let me give you the first key, which is understanding the enormous difference between begging and ordering, because they come from two completely opposite states of being. When you beg, you are in a state of lack, of desperation, of doubt. You are focused on what you do not have. You are pleading with a power you are not sure will answer, and you are secretly braced for disappointment. Begging says, "I am powerless. I hope someone up there takes pity on me." But when you order, you are in a state of certainty, of quiet authority. You know what you want, you state it clearly, and you fully expect to receive it. Ordering says, "This is mine. It is coming. I need only wait to receive it." Florence Scovel Shinn taught that your inner state is broadcast into the universe and returns to you as your experience. So the beggar, broadcasting lack and doubt, receives more lack, while the one who orders, broadcasting certainty and expectancy, receives what they ordered. Think of the difference between a nervous person pleading for a table at a restaurant, unsure they will be seated, and a person with a reservation, who walks in calmly knowing their table is ready. Same restaurant, completely different energy, and completely different experience. The beggar and the orderer live in two different worlds, and you get to choose which one you live in. And let me draw out this contrast even further, because the two states could not be more different, and understanding them deeply is what lets you choose. The beggar lives in a world of scarcity, where good things are rare, hard to get, and must be pleaded for. The beggar approaches life hat in hand, hoping, wishing, bracing for the answer to be no, and because the beggar expects resistance, expects lack, expects disappointment, that is exactly what the beggar tends to receive. The person who orders lives in a completely different world, a world of abundance, where what they need is available and simply needs to be requested. The orderer approaches life with quiet confidence, states what they want as a simple fact, and expects a yes. And because they expect availability, expect abundance, expect a yes, that is what tends to come to them. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that we are each living out our own beliefs about the nature of reality. The beggar believes in a stingy universe and experiences one. The orderer believes in a generous universe and experiences that. And here is the remarkable thing. Both are surrounded by the same infinite supply. The difference is entirely in how they approach it. The same coffee shop that fills the confident customer's order would fill the nervous beggar's order too. The coffee is there either way, but the beggar's whole manner, their doubt, their apology, their expectation of refusal, does not change what the shop has. It only reflects what they believe they can have. So the first and most fundamental shift is to recognize that you have been approaching your good as a beggar, and to consciously choose, from this day, to approach it as one who orders. This single shift in your inner stance changes the entire quality of what flows to you. And think for a moment about why the coffee comes so reliably. It is not because you are special or deserve it more. It comes because you approach it correctly. You know the shop has coffee. You know that when you place an order, it gets filled. You have complete faith in the process. And so you order without a trace of doubt. And it works every time. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the universe is far more abundant and reliable than any coffee shop, that there is an infinite supply of every good thing, and that the law of receiving works just as reliably as ordering coffee, if only you would approach it the same way. The problem is that people believe in the coffee shop but doubt the universe. They order coffee with total confidence but beg for money with total desperation, and so they get their coffee but not their money. And it is strange when you see it clearly. The very same person who orders coffee with total ease will turn around and plead desperately for money, lying awake over it, straining for it. Why the difference? It comes down to belief. You have ordered coffee 1,000 times and gotten it 1,000 times, so there is no doubt. But with money you carry deep doubt. You have known lack. You have been disappointed, and so you approach it not with calm certainty, but with anxious pleading. And the beautiful thing is that the coffee shows you that you already know how to do this. You already have the capacity for calm, confident, doubt-free ordering. You prove it every single morning. The whole task is simply to extend that same faith you already have to the larger desires of your life. The second key is understanding why begging actually repels your good, because this is the trap most people are caught in without realizing it. They want their good so badly, they need it so desperately, that they beg for it with all their might, and they cannot understand why it does not come. But Florence taught that the very desperation is the problem. When you beg, when you plead from a place of desperate need, you are radiating lack. You are affirming with every fiber of your being that you do not have. And the law can only give you more of what you are affirming. Desperation is like a signal that says lack, lack, lack. And so lack is what returns. This is why the harder people beg and strain and plead. The more their good seems to slip away, they are unknowingly pushing it away with their own desperation. Florence taught that you must release the desperate grip, that you must move from the frantic energy of begging to the calm energy of knowing. The coffee you order comes precisely because you are not desperate about it. You order it, and you relax, certain it is coming. And that calm certainty is the state in which your good can actually reach you. The desperate beggar blocks the door. The calm orderer opens it. And let me show you exactly how this desperation sabotages you in real life. Picture someone who desperately needs money to come. They wake up every morning gripped by fear. They check their account with dread. They think about their lack constantly. They plead and pray from a place of panic. And every one of these thoughts and feelings is broadcasting the same message. I do not have enough. I am afraid. Lack, lack, lack. Now contrast that with the coffee. You never lie awake at night in a panic about whether your coffee will come tomorrow. You never plead desperately with the barista. And precisely because you are not desperate, the coffee comes every single time, effortlessly. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the things we hold lightly, with calm faith, come easily, while the things we clutch at desperately slip away. This is why she taught people to cast the burden, to release the anxious grip, because the desperate energy is itself the block. So if there is something you have been begging for, straining for, losing sleep over, the very first thing to do is to loosen your grip on it, to stop the desperate begging, and to shift into the calm certainty of one who has simply placed an order and knows it is coming. The relief you feel when you stop begging is not just emotional, it is the exact shift that unblocks your good. And there is an even deeper layer to why begging fails. Because begging is rooted in a belief that the power is outside of you, that you must plead with some external force that may or may not grant your request. But Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the creative power works through you, through your own consciousness, your own word, your own faith. So when you beg, you are actually giving your power away. You are positioning yourself as a helpless supplicant before a power you cannot influence, and that very posture of helplessness becomes your experience. Ordering, on the other hand, comes from the understanding that you are a participant in the creative process, that your word has power, that you are not begging an external force, but directing a law that responds to your inner state. This does not mean you are arrogant, or that you think you are the source of all things. The coffee shop still makes the coffee. You do not, but you understand your role, to place the order clearly and expect its fulfillment. In the same way, you understand that the infinite is the source of your supply, but that your role is to claim your good with authority and expect it, not to grovel before a power you fear will refuse you. This shift from helpless supplicant to confident participant is one of the most empowering changes a person can make. It moves you from a posture of fear and powerlessness to one of calm authority, and it is precisely this posture that allows the creative law to work through you, rather than seeming to work against you. And before we go further, hold on to this foundation, because the shift from begging to ordering is the ground everything else is built on. If you take nothing else from tonight, take this. You are not a beggar pleading for scraps. You are one who places an order with quiet authority and expects it to be filled. Let that settle in. And now let me give you the third key, which is how to actually place your order, how to speak your good with calm authority, because this is where Florence's central teaching comes alive. She taught that your word is your wand, that you create with the words you speak. So placing your order means speaking your good clearly and with certainty, in the present, as though it is already yours. You do not say, "I hope I can maybe afford that someday." That is begging. Instead you say, "This is mine now, it comes to me under grace." In perfect ways, you speak it the way you would state your coffee order, plainly, confidently, without pleading and without doubt. You decide what you want, you claim it with your word, and you speak it as a settled fact, not a desperate wish. Florence taught that there is real authority in the spoken word, that when you speak with conviction, knowing the law, you set it in motion, so you stop using weak, begging language, and you start using clear, ordering language. You claim your good, you speak it as done, and you say it with the quiet certainty of one who knows exactly how the law works. This is placing your order, and the universe, like the barista, begins to prepare exactly what you asked for. And let me give you a sense of the tone, because tone is everything here. When you order coffee, there is a certain matter-of-factness to it. You are not emotional about it. You are not desperate. You are not even excited. You simply state what you want as a plain fact and move on. And Florence taught that there is great power in this calm, matter-of-fact claiming, when you can speak your good with that same settled, unemotional certainty. This is mine. It is on its way. You are demonstrating a faith so complete that it does not even need to get worked up. The deepest faith is calm. It does not plead or strain, because it already knows. So as you learn to place your orders, aim for that tone, not desperate excitement, not anxious hope, but the quiet, settled certainty of someone stating a simple fact. That calm is the sound of real faith, and real faith is what moves the law. And let me give you more on the language itself, because the exact words you use reveal and reinforce your inner state. Listen to the language of begging. "I wish I could." I hope maybe. If only I had. I can never seem to afford. I just cannot catch a break. Do you hear how every one of these phrases affirms lack and powerlessness? They are the words of someone who does not expect to receive. Now listen to the language of ordering. This is mine now. My good comes to me under grace. I am well supplied. Money flows to me easily. Everything I need is already on its way. Do you hear the difference? These are the words of someone who knows, who has placed their order and expects delivery. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that you are constantly decreeing your life with your words, that your word is a wand shaping your experience. So she urged people to become vigilant about their speech, to stop speaking the language of the beggar, and to consciously adopt the language of the one who orders. And this is not about lying to yourself or denying your current circumstances. It is about choosing which reality you are affirming and calling toward you. When you catch yourself about to speak words of lack and begging, you pause, and you rephrase into the language of ordering. Over time, this becomes natural, and your habitual speech becomes a steady stream of clear, confident orders rather than a stream of desperate pleas. And as your words change, the inner state they both reflect and reinforce changes too, until ordering your good becomes simply how you speak and how you are. The fourth key is that you must expect delivery, the way you expect your coffee to actually come, because this is the piece that makes it all work. After you order your coffee, what do? You simply expect it. You know with complete certainty that it is coming. You do not doubt it. You do not wonder if maybe it will not come this time. You just wait in calm expectancy. And Florence taught that this expectancy is the magnet that brings your good, that faith is really expectancy, the confident anticipation of receiving. Most people order their good, so to speak. They say the affirmation, they make the claim, but then they do not actually expect it. They secretly doubt. They brace for disappointment, and that doubt cancels the order. But the person who truly expects their good, who lives in calm anticipation of its arrival, becomes magnetic to it. So after you place your order, you must expect delivery. You go about your day, knowing your good is being prepared and is on its way. You carry the quiet confidence of someone who knows their order is coming. You look for it with pleasant anticipation, not anxious doubt. And this expectant state is exactly what allows your good to arrive. You ordered it, now you simply expect it, and it comes. And let me help you understand the mechanism of expectancy more deeply, because it is the hinge on which everything turns. Expectancy is not just a nice feeling, it is a creative force. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that faith is expectancy, and that whatever you expect with conviction tends to manifest. When you truly expect your coffee, several things happen automatically. You relax, you turn your attention to other things, you do not obsess over it, and you remain quietly certain. And this relaxed certainty is the ideal state for receiving. Now compare that to how most people hold their financial desires. They do not expect. They hope while secretly doubting. They obsess and check and worry. They hold their desire with a white-knuckled grip of anxiety. And that anxious, doubting grip is the opposite of the relaxed expectancy that allows good to flow. Think again of the coffee. Part of why it comes so reliably is that you genuinely expect it, and therefore do not interfere. You place the order, and then you get out of the way. You do not stand over the barista micromanaging. You do not keep changing your mind. You trust the process and let it work. And this getting out of the way, this relaxed non-interference born of genuine expectancy, is exactly what most people fail to do with their larger desires. They place the order and then immediately start interfering, doubting, forcing, trying to control every detail of how it will come. So learning to expect delivery also means learning to relax and let the supply come through, whatever channel it will. You expect it with calm certainty, and then you allow it. You do not force it. You do not micromanage the how. You simply expect and allow and receive. This relaxed expectancy is a skill, and like any skill, it strengthens with practice, until expecting your good becomes as natural as expecting your morning coffee. And let me add one more layer, because there is a quiet discipline in true expectancy that most people never develop. When you order your coffee, you do not keep checking on it every few seconds. You do not hover anxiously. You place the order, and then you genuinely turn your attention elsewhere, trusting it will come. And this ability to place your desire and then take your attention off of it, to stop obsessing, is one of the marks of real faith. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the anxious, watched pot never seems to boil, that our constant nervous checking and worrying actually interferes with the process. So expectancy is not sitting and staring anxiously at your desire, waiting and fretting. It is the opposite. It is placing your order with certainty, and then relaxing so completely that you can go about your life, confident it is being handled. This relaxed detachment, this ability to want something and yet hold it lightly, is difficult for most people, because they are so afraid of not getting it that they cannot take their eyes off it. But that very fear and fixation is the interference. So you practice ordering and releasing, claiming and relaxing, expecting and allowing, trusting the supply to come the way you trust your coffee to come, without standing over it. The fifth key is that you must not cancel your order with doubt, because this is the mistake that trips up almost everyone. Imagine if you ordered your coffee and then 30 seconds later you rushed back to the counter, worried, saying, "Actually, are you sure it is coming?" And then you cancelled it and reordered, and then doubted again and cancelled again. You would never receive your coffee because you keep cancelling the order. And Florence Scovel Shinn taught that this is exactly what people do with their good. They claim it, then they doubt, then they fall into fear, then they beg again, then they doubt again. And all this cancelling and reordering means their good can never actually arrive. She taught that once you have claimed your good, you must stand firm in faith. You must not undo your word with doubt and fear. You place your order once, with authority, and then you leave it placed. You do not cancel it every time fear whispers that it will not come. You hold steady. You keep your faith. You let the order stand. And if doubt comes, and it will, you gently return to your certainty. My order is placed. It is coming. I need only wait. This steadfastness, this refusal to cancel your order with doubt, is what allows your good the time and space to actually arrive. And let me help you understand why doubt is so destructive here. Because it is not a small thing. Every time you doubt, you are essentially placing a new and opposite order. When you claim your good, and then think, but it will probably not happen, you have just ordered lack on top of your order for good, and the two cancel out. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that a divided mind gets divided results, that you cannot claim your good with one breath and deny it with the next, and expect it to come. The barista cannot fill an order you keep changing and cancelling. So the discipline here is to place your order once, clearly, and then guard it. When doubt comes knocking, you do not let it rewrite your order. You calmly return to your original claim. This is coming, it is mine. I placed my order, and it stands. This steadiness is not about forcing or straining. It is the opposite. It is a relaxed, settled confidence that refuses to be shaken by every passing fear. And the more you practice holding your order steady, the more naturally your good is able to make its way to you, undisturbed by the constant cancelling that keeps most people empty-handed. And let me give you a practical way to handle the doubt when it comes, because it will come, and pretending it will not is naive. The key is not to never have a doubtful thought, it is to not act on it, to not let it cancel your order. When a doubt arises, and you feel that familiar urge to run back to the counter in a panic, you simply notice it, and you let it pass without obeying it. You might even say to yourself, I notice I am doubting, but my order still stands. I placed it in faith, and I am leaving it placed. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that we cannot always prevent negative thoughts from arising, but we can refuse to give them our power and our agreement. A doubt that you notice and release has no power to cancel your order. It is only the doubt that you believe, dwell on, and act on that does the damage. So you become like a calm host who notices an unruly guest, but does not let them take over the house. The doubt knocks, you see it, and you return your attention to your calm certainty. This is the discipline of keeping your order placed, and it gets easier with practice. At first the doubts may feel strong and frequent, but each time you notice one and let it pass without cancelling your order, you weaken its grip, until eventually your baseline state becomes one of steady, unshaken expectancy, and the occasional doubt is just a passing cloud that does not disturb the certainty beneath it. This steadiness, this refusal to let doubt cancel your order, is what gives your good the uninterrupted space it needs to arrive. The sixth key is that you must receive your good with calm gratitude, the way you simply take your coffee when it comes. Because notice what you do when your coffee is ready. You do not act shocked. You do not say, I cannot believe it actually came. You simply take it, say thank you, and enjoy it. You receive it as the natural, expected fulfillment of your order. And Florence taught that this is how you must learn to receive all your good, not with shock and disbelief, as though it were a miracle you never expected, but with calm gratitude, as the natural result of the law you set in motion. Many people actually block their good at the moment of receiving, because deep down they do not feel worthy of it, or they are so shocked it came that they cannot quite accept it. But the one who has learned to order knows their good is simply arriving as expected, and they receive it graciously, with thanks. And here is the deepest part. When you consistently live this way, ordering your good with calm authority, expecting it, refusing to cancel it with doubt, and receiving it with gratitude, you become a different kind of person. You become one who naturally expects good, who moves through life with the quiet confidence of someone whose orders are always filled. And to that person, good flows easily and constantly, because they have stopped begging forever and learned, permanently, to order. And let me expand on why the moment of receiving is so often where people fail. Because it is subtle, and most never notice it. Imagine your good actually begins to arrive. An opportunity appears, money comes, a door opens, and instead of calmly receiving it as the natural answer to your order, a part of you flinches. A voice says, "This is too good to be true. I do not deserve this. Something will go wrong. This cannot really be for me." And in that flinch, that recoil, you push your good away at the very moment it arrives. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that many people are far better at wanting than at receiving, that they can desire and even claim, but when the good actually shows up, their deep sense of unworthiness or their disbelief causes them to reject it, sabotage it, or fail to fully take hold of it. The person who has learned to order, though, receives differently, because to them, the arrival of their good is not a shock. It is simply the expected delivery. When your coffee comes, you do not recoil in disbelief. You do not feel unworthy of it. You simply take it with a natural thank you. And this is exactly how you must learn to receive all your good, as the natural, expected fulfillment of your order, worthy of it, unsurprised by it, grateful for it. So you practice receiving graciously. When good comes, however small, you accept it fully, you give thanks, you let yourself have it, without guilt, without disbelief, without the flinch of unworthiness. And as you practice receiving the small goods with grace, you build the capacity to receive the larger ones. Receiving is a skill, just as ordering is, and the calm, grateful, worthy reception of your good is the final step that completes the entire process. You order with authority, you expect with calm faith, you refuse to cancel with doubt, and you receive with gracious gratitude, and the cycle is complete. And let me add that gratitude itself is a form of ordering, because when you give thanks for something, you are affirming that it is real, that it is yours, that it has come. Florence Scovel Shinn taught the tremendous power of giving thanks in advance, of being grateful for your good before it has even arrived. And this fits the coffee perfectly. Imagine thanking the barista with genuine warmth the moment you place your order, so certain it is coming that the gratitude flows before the cup does. That advance gratitude is the highest expression of faith. It declares with complete confidence that your order is as good as filled, so you can use gratitude not only when your good arrives, but before it, as a way of strengthening your certainty that it is on its way. You give thanks for the money that is coming, for the good that is on its way, for the answered order, and this grateful expectancy is one of the most magnetic states there is. It combines the calm authority of ordering with the warm certainty of thanksgiving, and it draws your good to you with remarkable power. Here is the whole picture. You are meant to approach your good the way you order your morning coffee, not with begging, but with calm authority. Begging repels your good, because it broadcasts lack. So you learn to place your order by speaking your good with certainty. You expect delivery the way you expect your coffee to come. You refuse to cancel your order with doubt. And you receive your good with calm gratitude. When you live this way, you stop pleading with life and start directing it. And your good, like a well-placed order, begins to arrive reliably. Every part of this is available to you starting tonight. The whole shift is simply from begging to ordering, and the only thing required is that you actually make it. And let me leave you with a picture to carry with you. The next time you order your morning coffee, I want you to pay attention to how you do it. Notice the calm. Notice the certainty. Notice how you state what you want, and then simply expect it. And I want you to realize, in that moment, that you are looking at the exact state of mind that Florence Scovel Shinn spent her life teaching. This is faith, not the strained, desperate, pleading thing people often think faith is, but this calm, matter-of-fact certainty, this quiet knowing that what you have claimed is coming. And I want you to understand that you are capable of bringing this exact state to every area of your life, to your finances, to your work, to your relationships, to every good thing you desire. You already have the ability. You prove it every morning. From now on, let that simple daily act of ordering your coffee be a reminder, a small daily practice in the very faith that creates your world. And slowly, you will find yourself approaching all of life the way you approach that counter, with calm, with certainty, with the quiet authority of one who orders their good and simply waits to receive it. Before we close, let me be direct with you one final time, because you now have the whole method, but knowing it and living it every day are two different things. The reason most people never step into this calm authority is that they cannot sustain it alone. The old, desperate begging is too deeply ingrained, and it returns the moment life gets hard. This is exactly why I created the Overflow Covenant, a 21-day sequence where one short decree, rooted in everything we covered tonight, lands in your inbox every single morning, to train you out of begging and into the calm authority of ordering your good, morning after morning, until it becomes who you are. It is $27, one payment, 30-day full refund. The link is right there in the description. Begin it tonight, and let the first decree reach you in the morning. So speak the affirmation with me one final time before you go. I speak my good with calm authority. I know it is already mine. My word is my wand. Hold that. And from this moment on, stop begging life for your good and start ordering it, calmly, with certainty, the way you order your morning coffee, and then simply wait to receive what is already yours.